Hi, it's Neil McGovern here. I've got 2 tips today for improving your tonguing speed. The first is very simple, disarmingly simple perhaps, and it's simply breathe. It's something that we all know we're supposed to do. Take deep breaths, breathe from the diaphragm, support properly, make sure we're not tense. Well, we've been told this, I'm sure. Every teacher teaches their students that we should breathe, okay? Take a deep breath. We've all heard this before, but it's so easy to forget. So easy to forget to actually breathe properly or breathe at your very best all the time. And I found it is particularly noticeable when you're trying to tongue things quite quickly. I can show you how this works, and it kind of links into my second point. If I exhale completely, and I'm just going to say da 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 as fast as I can, so as though I'm doing single tonguing. So I'm going to blow out. Now I can say that, but it doesn't feel very comfortable. It feels very much like at some point my tongue is going to go and do that thing where it kind of skips and doesn't quite articulate properly. So if you simply take a deep breath and go, just started to go then, but it is a lot easier. It feels like you could go on and on like that and it'd be much more comfortable. I'll show you on the instrument as well. I'll just do it on a B. So here's a B, no breath. Well, for a start, I mean the tone just sounds terrible as well. So let's take a breath now. So you find that you can have a lot more control and it's going to be a lot crisper should you want that in your staccato playing if you're trying to tongue lots of notes like that. So just remember to breathe. That's the main thing. The other point is what I've just been doing, which is if you cannot say the articulation pattern that you want, if you from a piece or if you're improvising, if you're trying to do lots of tongue notes all together and you can't go, well then you've got no chance of doing that when there's a reed and mouthpiece in your mouth. It becomes harder. It's just going to be much more difficult. So I think this probably goes for double tonguing as well, but you should practice saying your articulation. Whatever the pattern might be, make sure that you can actually vocalize it. I think a lot of people know this, and maybe a lot of teachers tell you to do this, but maybe you haven't actually thought about just doing this as a separate exercise. It's very useful. You can kind of even do it under your breath if you're off somewhere and you can't practice with your instrument. Maybe you're traveling or just somewhere where you're not really actually properly practicing, but you can still practice just saying doing it very quietly, and that can just train your tongue. Perhaps I'll just mention one other thing, is I found often when I work with people doing tonguing, it gets worse as they're doing it in the session, and I think this is totally normal. So when you're trying the tonguing and you're trying to increase the speed of the tongue, maybe you have a very fast passage with lots of tongue staccato notes perhaps in it, you find that people's tongue gets tired. So they may start off going quite well, and then after a few minutes working at it, it actually slows down and it's going in the opposite direction to what you want. I'd just be aware that that's totally normal, but hopefully the next day the body will have adapted a little bit and you'll be able to go a little bit faster once more. Anyway, remember to breathe, remember to vocalize these things, and don't worry if it appears to be getting worse in a single practice session, but hopefully over time things will improve.